Welcome to the Sunday morning simulcast with Rom Wills. See failures as lessons. See failures as lessons. This is very important because often when people fail, and we all fail, we all make a mistake, we all make a misjudgment because we are all human. But too many people will fail and they will let that get them down. They will say I failed. This was a mistake and all of that. Yeah, it was probably a mistake. Oh, yeah, you did something that you probably didn't need to do. But you can't see it as just simply failure. You got to see it as a lesson. Every single time. If you look at many millionaires, successful athletes, they failed at something. But they didn't let it get them down. You get like all-stars in every sport. You get championship quarterbacks who've thrown interceptions at the wrong time. You've had basketball players who, like great all-stars, who've missed shots, missed free throws or something. You've had people who've had blatant business failures. There are countless stories of people who failed at everything, but then in their 40s or 50s, all of a sudden found a successful thing. The thing is, they didn't like dwell on their failures. One way or the other, they saw their failures as lessons. See, here's the thing with failure. It is a lesson. Okay, so you try business, opportunity, try to be in sports, you try to just do something. One of the first things, most basic things that you learn is when you fail at it, it wasn't for you. That's a basic thing. You might be like, try to get into something and then you try it doesn't work. And you're like, I'm not really talented at this. You're not talented. That's a lesson because you don't want to waste your time in something that you're just not good at. It's not for you. And that's one lesson. There's several. Another lesson, you fail at something, but you're still interested in it. You still have a passion for it. But you'll look back at it and say, okay, I failed. What did I do wrong? I'll use the example of a celebrity, Tyler Perry. The first play he did, it failed miserably. But what did he do? He corrected some things. And then success. And then you see where he's at now. And one of the things with me is I've read the stories of many successful people. Ultimately, that's what I'm about anyway, success, succeeding. And trust me, on a personal level, I've had plenty of failures. And I'm proud of them because then I learned what I didn't need to do. And then that was one thing, but then learn how to correct things. Like, for example, I'm a writer. That's my main thing. When I look at fiction novels that I've written recently and compare them to what I started out with, other than cringing, I was like, I've really improved. Because you learn that. So you learn how to correct things, And I'm going to tell you something about failure, too. Failures are knockdowns. You fail, shoot you down, you feeling bad. But the lesson you learn there is how to stand back up. We all going to get pushed down. I don't care what it is. We can all come back from it. Even stuff that we don't have any control over, we learn how to come back from it. I mentioned before, I think I mentioned here before, when I was a freshman in college. And now this wasn't a failure. This was something outside of myself. It was a time when the apartment building I was lived in literally burned to the ground. And I could have been like, oh man, all my stuff and all that. But I said, no, I learned how to stand up from it. Now that technically wasn't a failure based on me, but that was one of the things because in failing in life before, I learned how to bounce back. I got some stories. And anybody out there try to say like they've never failed is lying. They just straight up lying. Like I said, that's a human thing. But you learn so much from the failure. You learn about yourself. You learn what you can do and not do. You learn how to correct things. You learn how to bounce back from a failure. And there's still more things. It's an experience. You can at least say, okay, I experienced that. You know, it's not for me, but then I learn how to correct it, which I can turn to something else. I learned how to understand that some things in life happen, but you can't let it get you down. That's a powerful lesson right there. You can't let failure get you down. You have to learn the lesson there. Like I'm known for telling, giving relationship advice to men and women. I've told them, instead of getting mad that they broke up from that person, what was the lesson they learned there? Now, they might not belong with that person, probably don't, but there was a lesson. Hey, the lesson could have simply been don't mess with that type of person. But another lesson is, okay, you did, in your part, you did this to contribute to the failure. Then you can correct what you did, your action that you did, especially if you keep doing that same action over and over. You can say, hold up, let me correct that. Then the next person you meet, you're not going to commit that same action. You're going to move on from it. This is very important. This is very important. You have to learn from stuff. Every single experience, you learn from it. You learn what your strengths are. It's just like you learn from victory. Okay, you had several victories. Okay, what did you do for that victory? What did you do there? Okay, repeat it. Like when I talk to gentlemen, might do a consultation or something. I'm talking with a young man, and they'll say, "Well, what can I do to get women?" And whatever they trying to do with the woman, and then I'll say, "Okay, when have you been successful?" And they'll say, "Well, this time." And then I'll say, "Okay, repeat it, but don't repeat the mistakes. Repeat what you did to get there. Learn from the things that you did for it to fail." Boom. It's that simple. It's that simple. See, when we're going through life itself is a big school. Life itself is a big school. And you want to learn stuff going through this school. That's the thing. And there's no shame in it or anything. I mean, it's life. You shouldn't get down about it. Or, well, everybody's human, so you're going to think about it, but then grieve it for a minute and then think, okay, how can I improve this? Or do I need to move on? Really think about it. But that's the lesson. You already know about yourself. It tells you about yourself. All right? So, anyway, that's all I have for today. I want y'all to learn from those failures, okay? And keep rising. Peace and blessings.